Today, video games are everywhere. Powerful consoles, massive online worlds, and millions of players. The PlayStation 5 and games like Fortnite have changed how we play. Graphics are stunning, characters feel alive, and we can connect with friends across the globe. Esports and streaming have turned gaming into a worldwide spectacle. But it wasn't always like this. Games started out as simple dots and beeps. How did we go from those humble beginnings to today's incredible worlds? This is a story of creativity and invention. Let's explore the journey of video games together. Imagine a time when games were just experiments. Now they're a huge part of our lives. The journey from simple to spectacular is full of surprises. We'll see how games grew, changed, and became what they are now. It's a story of fun, challenge, and imagination. Ready to dive in? Let's begin. Our story begins in the 1950s, a time when computers were mysterious, room-sized machines that few people had ever seen in person. These early computers were massive, humming with the sound of thousands of vacuum tubes and relays, and they required entire teams of scientists and engineers just to keep them running. Back then, computers filled entire rooms, towering over their human operators. They were built for serious work, calculating missile trajectories, running scientific experiments, and processing data for governments and universities. The idea of using them for entertainment was almost unthinkable. But even in these serious environments, a few curious minds saw the potential for something different. Some scientists and engineers, surrounded by blinking lights and endless switches, began to wonder, could these machines be used for play? Could they create something fun, just for the joy of it? In 1958, physicist William Higginbotham at Brookhaven National Laboratory decided to try. He created Tennis for Two, a simple tennis game displayed on an oscilloscope screen. Players used aluminum knobs to control their paddles, bouncing a glowing dot of light back and forth. At the lab's annual open house, crowds lined up to play, laughing and cheering as they discovered this new kind of interactive experience. For many, it was their first time seeing a computer do something playful. Tennis for Two was a sensation, sparking imaginations and showing that computers could be more than just calculating machines. It was a glimpse into a future where technology and fun could go hand in hand. Just a few years later at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a new generation of students gained access to a revolutionary computer called the PDP-1. Among them was Steve Russell, who, along with his friends, was inspired by the thrilling tales of science fiction. They wanted to bring the excitement of space battles to life on a computer screen. In 1962, they created Space War, one of the very first digital computer games. Two players each controlled a spaceship, firing missiles and dodging the gravitational pull of a deadly star in the center of the screen. The game was fast-paced, competitive, and unlike anything anyone had seen before. It quickly became a favorite pastime among students and staff, spreading to other universities as the PDP-1 was adopted elsewhere. These early experiments, Tennis for Two and Space War, were the first sparks of what would become the video game revolution. They proved that computers could be used for play, not just work, and that interactive entertainment could capture the imagination of anyone who tried it. The seeds of a brand new form of entertainment were planted, ready to grow. Soon, these playful ideas would escape the confines of the laboratory. As word spread and technology advanced, more and more people would get the chance to experience the magic of computer games. The world was on the brink of discovering a whole new way to have fun. The stage was set for something big. These pioneering games inspired a new generation of creators, inventors, and dreamers. The journey had only just begun. From the quiet halls of research labs to the living rooms of families everywhere, video games were on the move. The adventure was just getting started, and the world would never be the same. After Space War, games were mostly hidden in labs. But in the 1970s, Nolan Bushnell saw their potential. He founded Atari and created Pong in 1972. Pong was simple: two paddles, a bouncing ball, and a catchy sound. The first Pong machine was an instant hit, overflowing with coins. Soon Pong machines appeared everywhere: bars, malls, and new places called arcades. Atari even brought Pong into homes, connecting it to TVs. Pong proved video games could be big business. It sparked a gaming boom and launched the video game industry. Suddenly, everyone wanted to play. Arcades became the place to be. Pong's success showed the world what games could become. The industry was ready to grow fast. The era of video games had truly begun. From a simple idea, a global phenomenon was born. The world was hooked. And this was just the beginning. Pong opened the door to a golden age of arcade games. With its simple paddles and bouncing ball, Pong was easy to learn but endlessly addictive. It was the first time people gathered in public spaces just to play a video game, and it sparked a revolution that would soon sweep the world. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, arcades exploded in popularity. Neon lights, The sounds of electronic beeps and the smell of popcorn filled the air. Arcades became magical places where anyone could be a hero, a racer, or a space explorer for just a quarter. Space Invaders arrived from Japan in 1978, thrilling players with alien battles. Its pixelated invaders and relentless pace made it a worldwide sensation, and it inspired a wave of new games and even longer lines at arcades. People lined up for hours, and some arcades even ran out of coins. The demand was so high that operators had to empty machines several times a day just to keep up. In 1980, Pac-Man changed everything. No shooting, just a hungry yellow hero in a maze. Pac-Man's unique design and catchy music drew in players of all ages, including many who had never played video games before. Pac-Man was friendly, fun, and a massive hit. It became a pop culture icon, inspiring cartoons, merchandise, and even a hit song. Other classics followed: Donkey Kong, Galaga, Frogger. Each one brought new challenges, colorful characters, and unforgettable music, making every visit to the arcade a fresh experience. Each game brought something new and exciting. Whether you were dodging barrels, blasting aliens, or hopping across busy roads, there was always a new high score to chase and a new story to tell. Arcades became the center of youth culture, buzzing with energy. They were the place to meet friends, show off your skills, and escape into fantastic worlds. The golden age was pure joy for gamers. Victories were celebrated with high fives, and even defeat meant another chance to try again. Video games were taking over the world. Arcades popped up in malls, pizza parlors, and even grocery stores, connecting players everywhere. Kids and teens flocked to arcades, chasing high scores. The excitement was electric, and the competition was fierce but friendly. Every new game felt like a new adventure. The arrival of a new cabinet was an event, drawing crowds eager to be the first to play. Arcades were more than just games. They were a social revolution. They brought people together, creating friendships and rivalries that lasted long after the games ended. The world had never seen anything like it. Arcades became a symbol of fun, freedom, and the future. Video games were here to stay. The glow of arcade screens promised endless possibilities. The golden age set the stage for what came next. The future looked bright, and the world of gaming was just getting started. The early 1980s felt like a non-stop party for gamers, but soon too many rushed, low-quality games flooded the market. The infamous E.T. game for Atari was a huge disappointment. Millions of unsold cartridges were buried in the desert. Confusion grew as too many consoles competed for attention. Home computers offered more than just games, pulling players away. In 1983, the video game crash hit, sales plummeted, companies closed, and arcades emptied. It seemed like video games were just a passing fad. The future looked bleak. Many thought the era of video games was over, but the story wasn't finished. Out of the crash, something new would rise. The darkest hour was just before a new dawn. A comeback was on the horizon. After the crash, hope for video games seemed lost, especially in America. Stores closed their doors, shelves sat empty, and the once booming industry looked like it might never recover. Parents and investors alike doubted that video games would ever be more than a passing fad, and the future seemed uncertain for gamers everywhere. But in Japan, Nintendo was quietly working on a comeback. While the world doubted, their engineers and designers were determined to bring fun back into living rooms. They believed that with the right approach, video games could be more than just a trend. They could become a lasting part of global culture. In 1985, Nintendo released the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, along with the groundbreaking Super Mario Bros. The NES wasn't just a new console, it was a fresh start, a symbol of hope for the industry. Super Mario Bros. Introduced players to a magical world full of color and imagination that felt unlike anything before. Mario's adventures revived the industry and captured imaginations worldwide. Kids and adults alike were drawn to the simple, joyful gameplay and the sense of discovery. Suddenly, video games were fun again, and families gathered around the TV to play together. Nintendo focused on quality, introducing a seal of approval for games. This seal became a promise to players. Every game would meet high standards, free from the glitches and rushed releases that had plagued the past. It was a new era of trust between gamers and game makers. Soon, Sega joined the fight with Sonic the Hedgehog, a blue blur who brought speed and attitude to the scene. Sega's Genesis console offered a bold alternative, and Sonic quickly became a rival to Mario, sparking excitement and competition. The 1990s became the era of console wars: Mario versus Sonic, Nintendo versus Sega. Fans debated endlessly over which mascot was cooler, which console was faster, and which games were the most fun. The rivalry fueled innovation and creativity on both sides. Kids everywhere picked sides and cheered for their heroes. Schoolyards buzzed with arguments about power-ups and secret levels, and friendships were forged and sometimes tested over favorite games. Then, Sony entered the scene with the PlayStation in 1994, shaking up the industry once again. The PlayStation brought a sleek new look and a fresh approach to gaming, appealing to older players as well as kids. Using CDs instead of cartridges, PlayStation games were bigger, sounded better, and offered more complex worlds to explore. Developers could now create longer stories, richer music, and more detailed graphics than ever before. The competition pushed gaming to new heights. Commercials boasted about speed, graphics, and exclusive titles, while fans eagerly awaited each new release. The energy and excitement around gaming had never been greater. Consoles became more powerful, and games more ambitious. 3D graphics, cinematic soundtracks, and epic adventures became the new standard, transforming what people expected from video games. The battleground was set for a new generation. Each company pushed the limits of technology, design, and storytelling, determined to win the hearts of players everywhere. The industry was back, stronger than ever. Launch events drew huge crowds, and game stores buzzed with excitement as new consoles and games hit the shelves. The world was ready for the next level. Gaming conventions became massive celebrations, and fans lined up for hours just to be the first to play. Gaming was now a global phenomenon. From Tokyo to New York, London to Sao Paulo, people everywhere were discovering the joy of interactive entertainment. The stage was set for a revolution. New ideas, new technologies, and new players were about to change everything once again. The future of gaming was wide open. With every new console and every new game, the possibilities seemed endless, and the excitement only grew. The best was yet to come. The journey of gaming was just beginning, and no one knew what amazing adventures lay ahead. The console wars had only just begun, promising even more innovation, rivalry, and unforgettable moments for generations of gamers to come. The original PlayStation proved games were for everyone. In the 2000s, graphics became 3D, making worlds more real and immersive. Sony's PlayStation 2 became the best-selling console ever. Microsoft joined with the Xbox, and Nintendo launched the GameCube. Each console brought exclusive, groundbreaking games. Online multiplayer gaming exploded. Halo on Xbox led the way. Players connected worldwide, battling and teaming up online. World of Warcraft drew millions into a shared fantasy world. Mobile gaming began to rise as phones got smarter. Simple games like Snake and Tetris paved the way for more advanced mobile hits. Gaming was now everywhere, at home, online, and on the go. The industry was changing fast. New technology brought new ways to play. The revolution was just beginning. Games were more accessible than ever. Anyone could be a gamer. The world of gaming was expanding. The possibilities seemed endless. The next big leap was just ahead. The future was in players' hands. The 2010s brought even more powerful consoles. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and now PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Games look almost like movies, with deep stories and lifelike graphics. Online gaming connects millions, and sharing moments is easier than ever. Virtual reality lets players step inside game worlds. Cloud gaming is on the rise, making games more accessible. Esports fill stadiums and streamers entertain huge audiences online. Gaming is now a real career for many. Digital stores let us download games instantly. No discs needed. Indie games from small teams can become surprise hits. Gaming is more diverse than ever, with something for everyone. The community is global and connected. New genres and ideas appear all the time. The boundaries of gaming keep expanding. Technology keeps pushing games forward. The future is full of possibilities. Anyone can find their place in gaming. The adventure never ends. The story of games is still being written. Every player is part of it. The next chapter is just beginning. What a journey, from bouncing dots to vast living worlds. Games have grown from simple experiments to a global industry. They're art, entertainment, and a way to connect. Technology keeps moving forward. AI, VR, and new ideas are on the horizon. The future of gaming is full of surprises. We can only imagine what's next. New ways to play will appear, things we can't even dream of yet. Gaming is always evolving, always exciting. The story isn't over. It's just getting started. Every day, new adventures await. Are you ready for the next level? The adventure continues. The world of games is yours to explore. The next big thing could be just around the corner. Keep playing, keep dreaming. The future of gaming is in your hands. Please like, share, and subscribe to Knowledge Odyssey for more videos like this.